church, and in front here there's a cross. I mean, instead of a cross, there is actually Dhammacakka, the Noble Eightfold Path. And once you enter inside, there's a Buddha statue which actually was made in Thailand. And this is the community we have now. We have volunteers from Germany. She just went for Vipassana meditation. We have teachers. We have sometimes visitors from Switzerland. We have children studying in the school. We ordain novice monks. And this is me here. We have another bhikkhu here. So this is really I'll take you through other initiatives that we have done, but still this temple is here. And I established it with a few people in 2005, and as a mobile tent, as I'm going to show you. And later on, it was open space. And then later on, I built a small temple, very, very small, to keep the Buddha statue. And finally, we came to this Buddha temple, as you're seeing here. So this is actually when I was in the United States for 8 years. I trained there, but before those 8 years elapsed, I was about 2 years, and it is a person from Thailand, it's called Nampet, and he donated these tents to Dutong, got them from Thailand, and he gave it to me when I told her that I'm going back to Uganda to establish Buddhism. So this is all what I had. I had this arms bow again from Thailand, and me like this, and I journeyed to first India, then Nepal, then I went to Burma to do meditation for 3 months, including Abhidhamma study, and then went to Sri Lanka, and I got a Buddha statue there. Stayed almost, I think, 2 weeks. I stayed in Sri Lanka, and finally I landed in Uganda with a Buddha statue and this tent and my arms bow, ready for the Dhammadutta work. So now, as you see, that time there was no temple at all. There was no temple at all. This was the first mobile temple in Uganda. I was sitting here, and some of these are my relatives, nephew and niece, and my mother. You can see my mother there in white, and the sister. So really, I had the first 5 disciples back then when I just arrived in Uganda. And now I actually quickly tried to see how can I introduce Buddhism in Uganda, in Africa. And I saw from my personal experience, there was a lack of peace. Even when I left Uganda for the first time for India, the country was very unpeaceful. Then I created a vision for all our work, peace for all, to become our vision for all meditation centers, whether schools. This is our mission, peace for all. So why I got it like this, truth, the Four Noble Truth centers around, and I would even formulate it lack of peace, the cause for lack of peace, peace or ultimate peace, and then you can say the way to ultimate peace. I wanted to make use of this vision, really drawing from the Buddha's teaching on the Four Noble Truths. So then the mission is to preserve and coordinate the original teaching, spread the Buddhist culture of peace within the context of African culture, and to serve as a center for Buddhist study, meditation practices, and Buddhist research. It came to be as okay. Now, about me, introducing myself, I encountered Buddhism for the first time in 1990. When I was a student in India, I met 2 monks from Thailand, and they were very kind to me. And really, I was born as a Christian, a Roman Catholic, And even then I was a Roman Catholic, but when I associated with the monks from Thailand, they were very kind to me, and I decided to follow Buddhism. So I was ordained as a Buddhist monk in 2002 in California, San Jose, USA. And currently I'm the Abbot and the founder of Uganda Buddhist Center. Also, I'm a director of a Buddhist primary school in Uganda. At the moment, I'm a visiting professor at the Union Theological Seminary affiliated to Columbia University in New York. I've just finished actually teaching my course, 3-month course on peace building and conflict resolution. Yes, so this is what I'm. So then that's my duties. Yes, so we have residence monks. This is called the internet here. Okay. The internet is okay. Okay, so now we have novice monks. In fact, this is my nephew. It's called Dammarakhita. So we have Dammarakhita, Sangharakkhita, Buddharakkhita, and every monk whom we ordain has a Rakhita in his name. So when you hear Rakhita, so you know that it's coming from Africa. Yes, especially when it's an African. So then we have also Buddhist nun. This is my mother actually. My mother in 2008, but she became a Buddhist, of course, before that, expressed her interest to become a nun. She's still a nun since 2008, and she's saying about before COVID, she was very instrumental being here, especially when we didn't have any other novice monk or even a monk. So 3 of us, we are staying in a temple, me and her and another helper, kind of assistant. So she has been very instrumental in introducing Buddhism in Uganda. So then we have activities of Uganda Buddhist Center. As part of the monastic practices, the Uganda Buddhist Center teaches meditation to the surrounding communities, conducts silence meditation retreat, ordain novice monks, and other ceremonies and activities. So you can see these are student training to become novice monks. We call them anagarikas. Anagarika, which means homeless. Then we have this kind of novice monk, these ones, we are training, and also we have then Buddhist monks, 2 of us here. So this training is currently going on, and those children go to school and they study Dhamma. So this is in summary of our activities, and we're going to go into details about our activities. Yeah, so to give you some idea, our practices is that we ordain novice monks. So after they stay in white for a long time like this, and they really learn Buddhist ethics, conduct, and everything about the temple, meditation. We go to meditate at the temple at 6 to 7 in the morning and evening. So they get into the routine of the Uganda Buddhist Center. Once we see they are ready, we actually ordain them as novice monks. It's a training that they have to go through sometime. They don't meet the requirements of the train. Sometime we take them back to be anagarikas. And if they behave very well, then we ordain them. So, and that's way how we train them. So most of them want to stay as novice monks because of the privileges they have. But sometimes they don't live up to the training. And then what we do, we send them back to put on white clothes, but still they continue to be in the temple. But there are certain things that they may not do because they are lay people and they are around. So this is a training. So now we have many more than that. Ordination ceremony of 12 novice monks.
So we keep on increasing. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up. The number keeps going on up and down, depends on whether they have passed the training or not. So then here they are already ordained, new ordained monks, and are being supplied by our neighbors here in neighboring communities, and some of them come far from the many people who want to give us their children to ordain at our temple. Yes. Then also I conduct one of our practices here is actually to hold international retreats, like meditation retreat, being a personal training into meditation, especially Vipassana meditation under Mahasiaro tradition, and of course I train under Bhante Gunaratana, who wrote a book on mindfulness in plain English, and so I got those two kinds of training from Sri Lanka and Burma. So I impart to the community and also people who come from overseas. I teach them meditation. But one of the important features of Uganda Buddhist Center is that we really take meditation to other religious people. So all these people you can see, they're Christian nuns from different countries in Africa. I ordained one time a monk from Rwanda, which is our next country. This is a father who's the head of department of clinical psychology, actually. He wanted to take a diploma in Buddhist studies. And all these things, what we do, these are from Singapore, Australia, so Indonesia, Australia. So we really hold international peace, mindfulness, meditation, and yoga. So this is a way how we can outreach, and also how we can really have interfaith with Catholics, because they also wake up very early and go to pray. And this time I say, okay, let's learn meditation. They were so scared. They were so scared to come to learn meditation from me. But the good news is that I had already taught at the university, at a Catholic university here for 5 times. So now some of them are familiar with me. Others who are not familiar, like this one was not familiar. So they are already apprehensive, thinking that they're going to convert into Buddhism. I reassured them that my aim is not to convert them, but to learn how to be peaceful. So these practices we do here at the Uganda Buddhist Center, but we do it once a year, the international retreats. But the problem of COVID, we didn't actually hold them again. Then apart from these practices, I would like to take you to our compassion in action, because I believe that the best way as a Dhammadutta is to walk the talk and not talk the talk. In other words, you have to see something. You have to show some people where you are, that the Buddha's teaching can be very practical in the society where you live. So these are the programs that we do that really can have helped us to survive here in a place like Uganda, which is dominated by Christianity, and there's Muslim also. But these programs have helped us to survive. But before we go to that, I would like to tell you our program in our Buddhist life here. In the morning, we go to meditate at 5. And in the morning, we wake up at 5:30, we are ready to go to the temple. Then meditation starts at 6 and ends about 6:45. And then we do chanting. Our novice monk knows how to chant the sutras. At least they know 3 sutras, Ratana Sutta, then Mangala Sutta, then Nometta Sutta. And then after chanting, we go for breakfast. We go for breakfast at 7. After breakfast, then there will be some cures, cleaning. The novice monk will clean the temple, and after that, they will go to school to study. Those who go in a primary school. We don't have anyone in a preschool, so we have novices starting from primary one. So they go to school, they come and eat lunch at 11. Lunch is at 11, from 11 to 12. And then after lunch, the novice monk will go back to the school, and then they come in evening. Once they come in evening, then we have evening meditation again from 6 to 7. Before that, they will have a refreshment, a juice before the meditation. And then there's meditation that takes place again in 1 hour. Within that 1 hour, they'll be chanting. And then that's our daily schedule, actually. But especially holidays, because novice monks that have not gone to school, so what we do is we normally have a retreat, like for a whole week. They'll be in the retreat, and the place is really very silent and very peaceful here. So that's our regular routine. But of course, for me, I have more duties of teaching online at the university in USA, giving talks in different places. So sometimes I don't go follow the regular schedule like that, because I have to be here and teach. So then I'll join sometime in different times, like for instance, meditation. I will choose to meditate very close to where I'm going to give a talk. After meditation, I come. So I do a lot of teaching online. So that's why I may not fit every day into that schedule. But apart from me, all the people have to fit into that schedule. So let's go to these programs, really what we practice. It's called Compassion in Action. So now, the first one is called Education Program. In this education program, we formed what we call a preschool. The preschool is a kindergarten, basically, providing early child education, early childhood development education to children around the Uganda Board Center. So the school now has 24 children enrolled. There's supposed to be 36. Yes, but because of COVID, we had to close the school. But also because of the funding, we needed to really fund the rest of them, like 12 more children. But it was not easy. And so we decided to stay with 2 streams. That means middle class and top. And it might be the case that we might stay with 12 only. The key is to provide education to children, especially mindfulness education, because I found out the children here were violent. When I just come here, children were throwing stones at dogs. And I said, what has a dog done to you? So I wanted at least to transform the village, the community in Africa, so that people learn violence. And I feel that education is the best way to transform the society, especially when that education has a flavor of mindfulness meditation or meditation in general. So then children can learn faster when they are at that age. So you can see me going to teach them, and they are calm and peaceful, actually. They are learning to be calm and peaceful. So, and once the Dalai Lama said that if you want to eradicate violence within one generation, you actually start training a 8-year-old child how to meditate. Of course, these are not yet 8, but they are between 3 years to 6. But still, that's a good start. And this is something that we do here. And the class is so small in order to have high quality education and get proper attention. So then, so we teach them environment ethics. Just a moment. I want to check my internet. I want to make sure that internet is properly. Okay. Yes. So these are the same children we teach about how to plant trees at the temple. Like this now, they're planting a mango tree. So this again, we're educating them to have some form of environmental consciousness other than cutting trees. So many children, they really cut branches and really for fun, basically. but I feel that our center's children, they are transforming slowly by slowly. Then again, with the education program, we have a Buddhist school, primary school. The Buddhist primary school is the first and the only Buddhist-founded primary school providing a mindfulness-based education to school-going children. Again, this is the first one in Uganda, just like the temple, that really is based, founded on the principles of Buddhism. So we teach mindfulness there to those children. All of them, they have to come at the temple and learn meditation, and also they also listen to Dhamma talks. And then, of course, in the future, we'll invite some monks from Thailand and different countries, and they come to be part of the school. In fact, during this coming Wasa, there's a monk from Thailand who's coming to teach the school. So all monks around the world who want to practice Dhammadutta, they can always come and teach Buddhism to our school. And I'd like to welcome all of you who feel that they can come to Africa to help out. We had some monks from Burma, of course, before, but that was before we formed the school. It was just a Dhamma school, but now it's a full-fledged school. We invite Buddhist monks to come and teach. Okay, currently we have 47 people enrolled in the primary 1, 2, 3, and 5. So out of the total 47 children, we have 21 who are novices living at the temple. So the number is still small because it's not easy to get parents and say, okay, this is my child, ordain them as a novice monk. So we take it slowly by slowly, and the number, we allow maximum 12 children per class, but that also helps us to give a high quality education. So we don't want quantity, we want quality. So then this is how it looks like. We completed it, the building. This one is primary, and primary is 5, 6, and 7. They are yet to enter. The next year, the whole of it will be full up to primary 7, because that's the last class. So we see here novice monks along with others. Yeah, so this is the future of Dhammaduttas in definitely Africa. So now that's a primary school. Yes, then of course, these are some of novice monks attending a Buddhist primary school. Yes, like this. So all of them, they are really wonderful novice monks. Yes, this is their classes in the background. So we have a computer education, that's part of our school, so that children can learn, novice monks can learn computer skills. So to become a Dhammadutta, as you know, you must really be self-sufficient in many ways to be able to send messages, check your air ticket. And so all these things they need to learn, and preparing them to be really Dhammadutta. So now we have also, again, we're going to, the next stage is going to be building a Buddhist high school. So now this proposed Buddhist high school, secondary school, will provide mindfulness-based education to people who graduate from the Buddhist primary school. So the school is planned to integrate mindfulness, vocation skills, training the head, heart, hands, and health, the 4H. This is very, very important education that I feel that I think is modeled on an American kind of education, who already talks about the 4H, and I think also there was a Frenchman who talks about 3H, but I think I would even add the 5th one, which is happiness. People should be trained to be happy. Sabai, sabai. So anyway, this is a thing that we do, and this is we got approvals already, and for the actual construction. So we are going to start. Now what remains to be done is to raise the required funds for construction. So we hope that this year we should be able to, probably part of next year too, we should be able to have senior 1, senior 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means pre-university. We should be able to do so. So those are plans in our education system, so that we can now, once we have a high school in Uganda, that means I should be able to send my children here to MCU and study there. We should be able to send them to Sri Lanka. Especially for me, definitely once I have a high school here, I will send my we call it A-levels here. That means pre-university. I'll be able to send them to MCU to study, because I like the program at MCU. Actually, because I studied at MCU education, I had the MCU education, I found it easier to teach at the Union Theological Seminary. The courses I am designing, really, it's because of the MCU syllabus, really accorded me flexibility to teach things like Buddhism and gender, Buddhism and ethics, and all this kind of thing. So I like to be able to send my children, my students to MCU. So now we have, this is a block. That's how it's going to look like, the high school. And we have already secured the land, of course. So now we go to another activity. We call it public and medical center. In the past, when you have so many children like this, they get sick. And when they get sick, and you have to take them to hospital, you take the hospital, so they don't know how to care for the novice monks. And of course, you know exactly, because you're monks, you know. So when you go to a hospital, the way they treat you, because I've never even seen somebody who's a monk in Uganda. So I feel that there was so many things which are lacking in medical centers, and yet we could do a few things before we take them to hospital. So that's why during Visak Day, which happened yesterday, yesterday actually, but one, on the 26th, on the 16th, we actually commissioned a new medical center. So this is it was done on Visak Day celebration. The this medical center was softly opened, and visiting volunteer like Dr. Patrick from the United States and Dr. Lee Young conducted general checkups of blood sugar, blood pressure, and trained local people in using moringa, pain relief, and self-healing techniques. So also we got a few things like mask, blood pressure measuring equipment that they were donated there. So one would wonder, why would we try to have a medical center here like this? Why don't we focus only on teaching meditation? But you can see when we have a medical center here, that means a few things like checking malaria, a few things we can do from here, and we don't lose time having to go long distances to the hospital. So, and that's what we've been doing, a small thing like microscope that we can do and check the blood and see whether somebody has malaria or not. And we could not manage it. So this is going to actually help us to continue to do our Dhammadutta when we can take care of our health. So this is very, very important. That's here now. We are yet to get medical people who are going to be doctors there, but at least we are going to hire temporary ones who are going to do on part-time until we really have full-time doctors and nurses who are going to do this. But we can really talk about having a lab technician who can check blood for a novice monk when they get sick. And now we don't have to go very far away from the meditation center. So now we have this, of course, this center is also helping the community. Here's Dr. Lee, a visiting volunteer, meeting one of the patients from the village. I looked actually at some of their papers. Some people didn't know that they had blood sugar levels very high, in high blood pressure. So the community is actually benefiting already. And that's part of our Dhammadutta. If the community is benefiting, then they know that Buddhist teaching is relevant, is practical, not just in the books, but it's practical. And that's what we call compassion in action. Now
Another program we do, part of our practice, again, this is all under practice of compassion in action. We provide clean water, hygiene, and sanitation. So to that end, we have drilled boreholes. The Uganda Buddhist Center, in collaboration with many individuals and organizations from around the world, has been able to construct over 30 boreholes to provide safe and clean water to communities in Uganda. So some of the beneficiaries have mainly been local schools. Once we provide clean water to local schools, so those schools are very happy to work with us closely, and also rural communities. We help children and reduce, especially when you give water in African context here. That means children have less distance to travel to get water, and children can go to school to study. So the net effect, we found out the people in the community, they trust us, and also they give their children to come to the temple. They give us their children, they feel safe. Children, they come to meditate and go back. They know that we are providing safe, clean water, and also they believe in what we are teaching, because seeing is believing. So now once people see with their eyes that they can take clean water, and they experience that, then they say, wow, I like Buddhism. Something like that is very, very important. Now, these are some of the boreholes we have constructed. You see some novice monk ordained before, helping to pump water. These are children come. So on an average day, on a single day, over 1,000 people around the temple get clean water. Over 1,000 people. So, and when we're talking about over 1,000 people getting clean water, and I know that it's the Buddhist temple that provided it. So they really become touched, and they become very friendly, and they want to help whenever we have something at Uganda Buddhist Center. So this is things that I'm doing as a part of a practice of compassion in action, and I named these boreholes Buddhist names like Modita. I'm yet to write them actually there, but as Uganda Buddhist Center, we can identify them like that. So some of them like that. On top of that, we do what we call compassion hunger relief. Compassion hunger relief is a program that that includes, of course, also doing borehole, but more so it talks about how we can help people who cannot afford to eat food, a square meal. So we have a compassionate care center where we help children who are orphans and give them breakfast and lunch every day. 20 of them were giving breakfast and lunch. So now, again, that's a way how to put Buddhist teaching in practice. Other than talking, compassion, and you elaborate on discourses in Africa, it doesn't work just giving discourses. Most African people want to seek what you're talking about, whether it's there on the ground or not. So we've done that one. So along those lines, we have done like hunger relief programs when we work with this what's called Bana. We say work to feed the hungry. So Uganda Buddhist Center collaborates with an organization in the United States. It's called Buddhist Global Relief. It's founded by Bhikkhu Bodhi. I don't know if you know this monk called Bhikkhu Bodhi. He's an American monk, and he asked me to be one of his advisors on that board of Council of Advisors. So now collaborate with us and donate money to feed the people here in Uganda, especially the program of the Peace School, which is a preschool, and also our Compassion Care Center. So they donate per year to run these programs. So recently, also we did a program of Compassion Action in conjunction with an organization in Taiwan, where we gave food like 232 people. And for us as Uganda Buddhist Center, we collaborated with that organization in Taiwan, and we distributed this food. And after this distribution of food, 60 people registered. 60 people registered to say we are going to come to Uganda Buddhist Center to learn the mental heart, the mental state, or the heart qualities that Buddhist people have,
to be able to give the food because they were starving, because they say island caught fire and everything got burnt, and now they have no things left. They lost everything, clothes, food, and everything. So we have just done this program. You can see our volunteers in these t-shirts. These are all our volunteers distributing food to people. So in other words, an action like this that we do here in Uganda as a practice of compassionate action, it can really bring many people they get inspired. Already one of them came and thanked us and said next week they are going to even bring others to the temple and learn about Buddhism. So these are practices we do. And now other things we do also. Again, you might even wonder, how can we get all these novice monks? Do we go around asking the parents to give us the novice monk? No, we don't. So with this kind of program we do here like this, and these are mothers who had had time to live their life, and we provide them what we call women economic empowerment. We have done that since 2018. So the Uganda Buddhist Center has been economically empowering women by skills ranging from actually tailoring, making shoes and all that simple thing that can help them to survive. And then the net effects, they connect to the temple. But for us, it's not only, we're not doing this for people to come to the temple only, but actually one of the reasons why we do this, we want them to learn sewing clothes so that when it comes to making robes, they know how to make robes. So we don't have to order robes from Thailand. We can actually make our own robes there. But also it ties in together that though we are looking for being self-sufficient and self-sustaining, so it also works that those people now get to know us, get to know Buddhism, get to know about our daily life, because it was mysterious to people. Our daily life in Uganda here, it was a mystery to many Ugandans because they don't know about Buddhism. So they think that it's weird. They thought it is evil. They thought we are devil worshippers, But with these kind of programs, people get to know our beliefs. They come to clean the center. These very people, they come to clean the center because we provide this for free. We don't charge them. So then they give back their energy, though they don't have enough funds, money to sustain themselves. So they don't donate to the temple. But when they come, at least they can give their time, they can give their energy. And the net effect we see when we have events like Visak Day, these are the very people who come and prepare food. Yes, instead of paying for somebody to prepare food, they end up actually doing a lot of jobs at the Uganda Buddhist Center. So you see them in action here. So we have them in action. I'm looking at how they're learning, and this is their trainer. So some of these are just even, these are our neighbor, this is our neighbor. So that's, we create the Uganda Buddhist Center community so that it's not like a bubble. In the beginning, it looked like a bubble when I just came. It was just in the middle of nowhere, and I could not connect to the community, because the community was afraid of me. The community was really afraid of me. They have never seen a Buddhist monk. So these are things that we do. Youth empowerment also we do for the youth, the young people here, because we know we've been helping children, we help the women, but then the question is, what about boys who don't have jobs? How can we bring them to the temple? So we created a program called the Youth Economic Empowerment, and this was supported by the Thai embassy in so here we just have a consulate. They came and visited us. They said no, we want to call it many economic empowerment, but the Thai embassy chose to call it youth economic empowerment, whereby we empower the youth. Through this empowerment, we see people again connecting to the temple,
But again, for me, I want them to make chairs for our school so that I don't have to buy them. So you can see in a way how it all fits in. It all fits into the whole picture. The women, I empower them so that they can make uniform for our school. And then for the men, youth empowerment, I want them to make chairs for our school. So again, on top of our practices, we have events and celebrations which are familiar to any Buddhist monk. I want to go through them, and then I'll open it to question and answers, a session if you have a question. So events and the celebrations. So we have Vesak Day celebration again, whereby we invite kings. This king. In Uganda, we have also kingdoms, they used to be called local chiefs, but these are actually kingdoms which have they don't have political power, cultures. They wield a lot of
ครับเดี๋ยวรอสักครู่เพราะว่าคอมของท่านมีปัญหาเดี๋ยวเข้ามาใหม่ครับ
I was saying my computer ran out of power, and now I've started powering it up. That should be fine. Yeah, so we continue with the presentation. So, yes. So the Uganda Buddhist Center celebrates Vesak Day annually, like even recently. We had one just on 15th. So during those Vesak Day celebrations, we invite loyal families. And also this the ambassador of Sri Lanka. Why would we, in our practices, why would we invite either ambassador or political leader or loyal family? This is to follow the Buddha's teaching on loyal patronage. When you look at the Buddha, when he was really as a Dhammadutta, of course, he always worked closely with the loyal families. So in Uganda, we invite those people normally when we have those invites, like Visak Day, so that they get to know what we are doing, even in their area. So this is a way of seeking what we call loyal patronage, whereby the people, like in Uganda, they respect them. Once this comes in a newspaper, or when the people get to know that the king of a certain region was at the Uganda Buddhist Center opening the building, then they feel very happy, sabai sabai. They feel that they're part of the society. And for us, we feel that we're not isolated from the society. So normally when I call the loyal family, normally I tell them to open buildings. So once you tell those people to open the building, it's going to be in their mind always, wow, I went to this place and I officially opened the building, and there's a plaque on the building. So here we are opening the Sangha building. And now that's the event. Then we go to now Katina. Also Katina, I invite many people from loyal families and chiefs and political people, so that they witness such a public event. So like these ones, the Sri Lankan community living in Uganda, celebrating Katina in a traditional way. So this one, annually, Uganda Buddhist Center celebrates Katina ceremony to mark the end of Vasa period and also signify the interdependent nature of sentient beings. So we all know Katina, and the first year was not easy actually. First year was not easy, but now at least we have really through our Dhammadutta practices, even communities that are living in Uganda, like Sri Lankan community, they then become part of us, because in the beginning they were not part of us. We're just teaching meditation. They are not interested so much in meditation. They're interested in Buddhist culture. So then we had to make sure that we really bring them on board and work together in order to celebrate the Katina Day. Then Buddhist conferences. This is sometimes we have what we call International Buddhist Peace Conference. Like this was in 2016. Since then we had another one, but this is of course takes a lot of resources. And one time actually I really did it, but these are monks from Sri Lanka, from Burma, from Germany, from India, from it's, as you know, MC, know better the resources that goes into organizing a conference. But whenever we get some resources, we want to organize a conference to bring people from overseas and see what we are doing. So these are people from this is our traditional dress here. So these people are from the kingdoms, so they get to know what we are doing also. So this is part of our UBC, in order to raise the awareness of the Buddhist contribution to global peace, organizes conferences aimed at promoting peace and understanding among different religions in our communities. So this is ongoing, but recently we haven't really organized conferences. Again, the theme of peace is very important, Buddhist peace, because that's what brings together. Everybody's looking for peace. It doesn't matter whether it's Christian or what, but everybody's looking for peace. So this is a royal family. This is actually Queen Mother. This is the mother of a king actually in Uganda. This is my mother. So this is very important for us as Dhammadutta to integrate people, opinion leaders in the society, if you're going to be successful in Dhammadutta. And future plan, we construct a monks accommodation to house 12 monks, senior monks. We permanently construct the Buddhist primary school, secondary school. And we want also to establish the first African Buddhist university in Uganda. That's where we're going. At least this year we'll be here. So we are slowly plodding, slowly walking forward. So then, you see, this is our physical address in Uganda. You are all welcome to stay with us. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. So now,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I'm going to stop sharing, I think, the screen. Maybe it's where I can stop sharing and then we can come back to, stop the sharing.
Okay, thank you, Venerable.
Yes.
Do anyone have a question? Please, Venerable ณัฐพัฒน์
ถามภาษาไทยก็ได้ เดี๋ยวให้ท่านมหาช่วยแปลให้บันทึกนะเนี่ยระดับต่างประเทศเลยนะ
Hello?
เยอะไหมครั้งแรกท่านเป็นผู้
นิมนต์ณัฐพัฒน์
Yes, you can ask question
Yes.
in English.
With respect to the I want to know from you that
เสียงหายเสียง
what is the key of the
เสียงหายไม่ได้ยิน
Hello?
Okay. I switched off my video in case the internet becomes very weak. So I switched off my video so that I can hear you clearly. I see 4 questions, people raising their hand. Please ask any question if you have.
Can you hear me?
At the moment, I can hear you what you say now, but I didn't hear your question. I didn't hear your question.
Repeat again.
I
Repeat again.
repeat again.
เดี๋ยวให้ท่านหยุดก่อน
I want to know that what's the key of your work, because I after I know your experiences, I saw that everyone from the various religions, from the various beliefs, and from the various people from other countries, I want to know that how you lead these people to come together and to get interested in your work. And even the Catholic nuns, they join you in your meditation retreat. I just want to know what is the key of your work to get interested from them. This is my question, Master.
Them to get interested in me or me get interested in them? I want to clarify. And the question is, what's the key? I understand.
Yes.
In other words, for them to come, what do I do? In other words, what do I do to make them interested to come? Is that the question?
Pardon? Can you repeat again?
Yeah, are you asking what do I do to make people, even Catholic nuns, to come to me? Is that the question? What's the key?
Yes, even the other belief or various belief, how can you lead them to be interested in your work? Even the Catholic nuns, something like that.
Okay, I tell you. One of the thing is that because first I was born as a Catholic, that's one thing. So I know their problem. I know the problem of that religion. I know the way they think. I know what they ask. I know the limitations. I know what I can add onto them. I know how much value I can add to that tradition, right? That helps me a lot. Then the second is I found out
a common thread in humanity. Just like the Buddha found out a common thread, a common problem in the society. I found out it doesn't matter whether you're a Catholic nun, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Catholic, all people want to associate with somebody who's kind, who's friendly, who has a message for them, how to improve their life, how to deal with the emotions, how to deal with their life. In other words, when I meet those people, I don't behave that, okay, I'm a monk, different from them, and I'm a roof. No, I come to their same problems, and I become very friendly with them, and we create friendship first, with no agenda to convert them. I'm interested in their religion, so I develop interest in what they believe in. I don't say, oh, you're a Christian, you are done. You are not going to go to Nibbana. No. I really get interested in what they believe in. And because I've studied it in a school, at MCU, you have a syllabus where you study other religions. So when you meet them, talk in their language, they understand. So when I teach the Dhamma, I teach drawing from their beliefs. If in the Bible they talk about love, when we meet, we talk about love. If the Bible talks about compassion, we talk also about compassion. I don't include all the love karma, dependent origination, paticca samuppada, all this kind of thing, anatta. I don't do anatta talks. I talk to them simple things that, it's common to them. Yeah, that's how I do it. So that we find a common ground. And that's why I become friends. But later on, once they join, I get a little bit deeper when they ask questions. That's how I think I do it.
Thank you so much, Master.
You're welcome.
I have got a lot of benefit things from you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Next one. Satit and opens.
Well, how are you?
And how are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question for ask you. With my position as volunteer monk for health and wellness of the temple, I'm really impressed with the photo. You are teaching a group of kids, and the hospital is really good. I know how hard to spread Buddhism abroad and with African cultures and traditions. So what is your inspiration to increase your energy for work?
So my inspiration so that is energy to work. So really, I would like to see people to be free from suffering and its causes. Myself, I want to see that I'm free from suffering and its causes. And also, I would like to other people to be free from suffering and its causes. That's my first inspiration. So, because that one, as a Buddhist monk, I like to see if I can get liberated from the cycle of suffering called samsara. The next inspiration is to help others to be free from suffering and its causes and attain ultimate peace. So that keeps me going. That keeps me going, that from one person to second person. So that gives me a lot of energy, that my vision is to make sure that first primary vision and motivation is how can I overcome suffering in this lifetime? And then I work towards that. Then how can I help others to overcome suffering and causes and attain ultimate peace? So with those two things, I do so many things that feeds into that system, and everything that I do
just feeds into that system, and I end up getting more inspiration, more energy because of that motivation.
Okay.
That
Thank
does
you so
that help?
much. Thank
Mhm.
you.
You're welcome.
Next.
Excuse me, Master, I have question.
Yes.
How many religions in Uganda, and the people is no Thai Buddhism or Thai monk Theravada, and government is support Buddhism, Thai Buddhism in Uganda. Thank you so much.
Yes. In Uganda, we have other religions, like probably Christianity forms 60% of the country. We have Catholic, and within that Christian, we have evangelical churches, we have Protestants, we have Muslim, we have Baha'i. Baha'i is another religion, but not many. We have Islam religion. We have Sikhism, small number of Sikhs. We have Hinduism, again, a small number. We have Buddhism, probably the smallest number. And then we have also African traditions, African religions. So those are the religions we can count, about maybe seven. About seven, I didn't count, but about seven, because there will be offshoots from that. Let's say about seven. And the biggest one is definitely Christianity, 60% or so. Then Muslim is just another 15%. And then we have Hinduism and other religion, Judaism. We have Jewish religions also here, Judaism, Jewish tradition. So the African people who believe in Judaism since 1954. So now that's your question about how many religions in Uganda. Now, when it comes to Thai Buddhism, in Uganda, we have Thai people. They have restaurants. Some of them, they come here on projects like building bridges. We have others come as a chef, especially Thai restaurants. So we have Buddhist people from Thailand, but in Uganda, there's only one temple, so there's no Thai temple here. But we have a few Thai people in Uganda. They come to the temple, they support the temple. We have also people from Burma. The biggest number of people are from Sri Lanka, but also we have Thai people. Thai people normally are also those who are not in Uganda. They are in northern Uganda. They come to work as peacekeepers at the United Nations. So we have people in the South Sudan, but from time to time they come to Uganda and visit the temple. Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you very much, Master. I have a second question. Have people, Thais and Asian peoples, how many? Much or not much? And the people is come to support Thai monk or support Master or activity Master do is activity. Thank you.
Actually, though we have a big number of people here from Sri Lanka, the biggest number of people here in Uganda, they're from Sri Lanka, probably over 500 people here. We have Niknoi, Thai people, and we have Burmese people, again, Niknoi. We have Indian people and Nepalese, Those are very, very few people. So the net effect when you add all those people here, they don't support the temple the way they would support it when it's in their countries. Let's say if this temple, Uganda Buddhist Center, is in Thailand, maybe it will get many supporters. Maybe it's when it's in Sri Lanka or Burma, it will get many supporters. So, but here we don't get as much support from the local community here. Of course, the support comes from time to time when we have events, and once a while, in 2 weeks, then you get a supporter from Sri Lanka. Then another 3 weeks, you get a supporter from Burma, bring food to the temple. Then once a while, you get Sri Lanka donating bricks to construct a pavement or what to call a courtyard. So the support is there, but not as it's in your country or in the United States also. In the United States, when I was in the United States, in Washington, D.C., the Sri Lankan people will make a roster, and then they bring food every day to the monastery in Washington, D.C. So then they will know that the whole month, including the ambassador of Sri Lanka, would bring food once a month. In Uganda Buddhist Center, we don't have such a roster. So the net effect is that we have to pay people to be our cook. They cook food because there's nobody who brings food on a regular basis. This is one of the reasons probably is because when people come here, they live slightly far from the temple. And also, even if they don't live far from the temple, those people have to go to work. And also the very fact there are not so many people. Yeah, so the number of Sri Lankan people is big, but they stay far away from the temple. They are building dams, they are up country. Yes, the short answer to your question, there is no support at the temple. But we managed to survive. We've learned how to live with whatever we have, and we're going forward. And we don't see that as an obstacle to continue to do what we do. Thank you very much. Kop kun kap.
Have last question.
Mm-hmm.
The people in Uganda is poor or rich, or yes, poor or rich? Many. Thank you.
In general, the Uganda is a developing world. It's a developing world agricultural society. So it's among what we would count as poor country. I wouldn't say Uganda is a rich country, but also when you talk about rich and poor, it's also relative, it's a relative term. Yes, but I understand the question, but the ranking, according to the world record rankings, Uganda would be ranked as a developing country, not a developed country. So in general, people are striving to live, to earn their living. So it's a poor country, let's face it. Because of it's a landlocked country. But of course, these conditions that lead the country to be where it is supposed to be rich in other areas like culture, agriculture, and many other things. But it's a political system which is not, which has not allowed it to really move forward. I see many people struggling, looking for jobs and all that. Yeah, so it's a very poor country. Not the poorest, but it's a poor country compared to Thailand. The quality of living, the what you call the standard of living, maybe is very high in these countries like Thailand. So you have a high standard of living. Quality of life is better. Economic systems are better. Things work very well.
in Thailand, but Uganda is kind of, maybe if you have been to Sri Lanka, I can compare. It's just behind Sri Lanka to get some idea how Uganda look like. But it's rich in other areas, like the weather is very good. We have very good weather, not too hot, not too cold. So I like the weather in Uganda. Anyway, thank you very much. Yes, it's not a rich country, it's a poor country. And yeah, but it has some areas that I like to live in here. Where it's a very good country to live in because of its weather. All right, another question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to know how you thought to plan to ordination. How
Sorry?
long did you plan?
Sorry?
I would like to know how you thought to plan to ordination.
Okay, ordination. How I plan to give ordination in Uganda. Yes. Okay, what I do. We have a SEMA here. We have a SEMA boundary where we ordain. Before we didn't have, so we have SEMA. So now, how I plan to these children to get ordained. What I do, I bring monks from overseas to make a quorum. So that means if I want to ordain monks here, I'll ask monks from maybe Burma. I'll ask monks from other places and come to ordain here. First, I asked before Sri Lanka to create a SEMA here, and we had the ordination there that time. Then another time, we invited a monk from Burma, and we had a second ordination here. And now we are planning for a third ordination. For that, I wait until my novice monks, they come to be 20 years. And then I'll call other monks from overseas and ordain monks here. I hope that's a question you asked. I don't know exactly what you're asking, but I thought that's what you're asking, how I plan ordination here. Is it answering your question?
Yeah, the second question. And when you be ordained already, and first time when you be back to your family, how your parents feel that when saw you first time?
Yes, when I first came here in robes, my relatives didn't understand me definitely. My mother also could not understand me, but when I stayed with them for the first week, I made a presentation of all the temples I've seen around the world, like Thailand, Burma, Tibet, all this kind of thing. I showed the temple, I showed them the Buddha. They start learning my lifestyle, that I eat breakfast and I eat lunch. I don't eat after lunch. So they got to know my lifestyle, but later on, they start being accepting. But of course, my mother was overwhelmed to see me because she had spent 5 years, about 7 years without seeing me. So she was full of joy, and that kind of joy overtook her questions about me, because she was just so happy to see me. So my mother definitely got to understand me after 1 week or two, and she said, "I like also to become a Buddhist." So my mother's reaction was the only one that I felt was more open. But other people being in robes like this, it confused them, including my other relatives. They thought I'm not a businessman. I've not made a good life. In other words, I'm crazy. How can I dress like this? So all this kind of thing that I saw people, including my relatives, were not happy as I am. But later on, it took many years where they see me doing something in a community, and then after a while, they got used to it. And then they start encouraging me to study further. I took them to conference, like my uncle, I took them to conference in Thailand, Japan, and India. They really came to see me while giving talks in a conference and said, "Wow, our son, our relative is actually doing a good job." And they start accepting me.
So it came a long way, actually, my parents to accept me. My relatives, my father passed away, but my relatives, it took them a long time to understand me, but now they understand. Yes, that's the answer to your question.
Yes, thank you. And one more question. What's the language in Uganda used for communication?
It's called Uganda. Uganda, you put L before the country and you get the language. So you put L. I put in the chat. My language is Uganda. Uganda. So Uganda is the language. Uganda is the country.
Yes, sir.
Buganda is the region. Buganda is the region. This region where I live in. And the people are called Baganda. Baganda people. These are people. The people. And then Muganda is the Muganda. Like you're Thai. You said Thai. Singular. So you can learn one thing now here. You can learn one thing here. You can learn Uganda, Luganda, Buganda, Baganda, Muganda. Can you repeat me? You can Uganda, Buganda, Luganda like this. So you learn something at least. Thank you. You know my language. You know my language now. Luganda.
Next.
My humble respect to you, Venerable Sir. First of all, I really appreciated your devotion for the Buddha Sasana. As I can see, the great thing you have done. Okay, I know it's very difficult to propagate Buddhism in other countries of which people have known English, have known the Buddhism as well. So you are such an inspiration to us. Well, my question is, what challenge and obstacle did you face when you first came to Uganda or other country, and how did you cope with it? Okay, and I have 3 questions from my friend as well. The first one is it difficult to go to Uganda? And the second one, is it difficult to make visa for Uganda? And the third one is, do you welcome Thai monks if they want to go to your center to serve there? Thank you very much. Thank you for your substantial presentation. And yeah, I really appreciated the way you have done. May you and what you have done and you are doing prosper in the Buddha Sasana abundantly. Thank you.
Okay. The 3 questions. One, did I face any problems? The second, another one, do I welcome Thai people in Uganda? And then the second one, I missed that second one. What's the second? There are 3 questions, but the third one, I didn't get it clearly. I didn't get it. You asked me 3 questions, but I got the 2, but the other one I missed.
Okay.
You asked 3 questions, but can you repeat them? One is a problem. Do I face any challenges? I'm going to answer that one. Then another one is
how did you cope with it? With the challenge?
Okay. Now, yes, I faced a lot of problems in Uganda, but you can read my book called Planting Dharma Seeds. They have a Thai version, this book. You can get in Thai. You're going to learn a lot. If you are to come to Uganda, this is exactly what you're going to face. Planting Dharma Seed by Bhante Buddharakkhita. Ajahn
Wo Vijuramedi, translated it in Thai. You know Ajahn Wo Vijuramedi? Yeah, so the book was translated in Thai language. And basically, you might have even copies actually in MCU. You look for it because, it was launched in Thailand. I was there even when they're launching that book. So please look for that book, Planting Dharma Seeds. Is going to cover what you've asked. So, but I can answer now. Yes, I faced a lot of challenges, and I still do face challenges, but not as many. One of the most challenges I faced is actually my robes. Always when I walk, behind people, when they come close to me, they touch it just to feel the fabric. I say, wow, I like your cloth. It's very good. And this is not good for me because some of the time these are opposite sex, you know. You are in a line and somebody start touching your robe. Wow, where did you buy this one? I like your fashion. So they like so much my robe. Yes, and now another thing going on. Instead of people giving me food, they wanted to buy my alms bowl. When people, instead of people giving me food when I go for alms round, they wanted to buy my alms bowl. Back then, I just had few, you know. So then the problem also is that normally when I went for alms round, that's not when people have breakfast. They don't prepare food for me. So then I didn't get food. So that was a big challenge. And everything that monk uses, there was people questioning why I dress like this. When I dress full with my arm inside, full robe, they say, "Oh, look at the man with that one arm." So they laugh at you, and the other children run away from you. Then the most people, they say, "Oh, you Shaolin master, you know, kung fu." So they think that you do these kind of things. That was a challenge, and lack of support. Even I could not be given accommodation when I had a tent because I had no temple. And I asked people, where can I put my tent? And they said, no, you are not supposed to camp here because you are witch. You are a witch doctor. So people are afraid about Buddhist monks here in the beginning. But now, because of my work, many times I'm in the newspaper and television. Most people have seen me, so they are not scared much. They're not much scary. They're not scared, really. So now, of course, problem also a threat to my life. Yes, I face those problems. A threat to my life, actually. An attempt to my life. You know, yeah. People wanted to eliminate me altogether in the society. They removed the signposts going to the temple. Those are many years ago, like 10 years ago. But now it got better. Just like Mahatma Gandhi said, whenever you introduce something new, you go through 4 phases. 1, people ignore you. 2nd phase, people laugh at you. 3rd phase, people fight you. And the 4th stage, people join you. So as a Dhammadutta, you must be willing to go through those 4 stages. The 1st stage, people ignore you. The 2nd stage, people laugh at you. The 3rd stage, people fight you. The 4th stage is people join you. So I've gone through those stages where people fight me, fight against me. What I'm doing here is evil. It's against Jesus. It's a different religion. They don't know it. Up to now, some people ask out of ignorance, but now it has gotten better. So now the second question, how did I cope with it? As part of the Dhammadutta, I've even written an article, you know, the advice the Buddha gave, released Amai, bhikkhus from, like he was talking about how he's free from all ties, whether human or divine. And also he was asking us to do the same thing to purify our mind. So whenever I face this challenge,
I restrain myself from getting angry. I restrain myself from getting angry. I always do the opposite. I send them loving kindness. I send metta, and be kind to people who are not kind to me. And of course, the Buddha said, go now and wander for the welfare and happiness of many, out of compassion for the world, for the welfare and happiness of all people. So now, when I face these challenges, I remind Buddha's teaching when he was sending his missionaries to go out. Really, if your motivation is compassion, so when people react towards you, you don't react the same way. You react with you respond, in other words, with the compassion. So that's why we go anywhere. Not go only to Buddhist people, but go. Not even two should go in the same direction. So whatever direction I take, and I face some problems and challenges, and then I use the Chinese approach to challenge, to crisis. When I face crisis here in Africa, it reminds me of Chinese character for crisis. One is a challenge, another is an opportunity. So whenever I have a challenge, the next question I ask myself, what can I learn from it? What opportunities do I have to meet it? So that's also helping me to cope with it, knowing that whenever there's a crisis, whenever there's a problem, it becomes a challenge. But also the next thing is, how do I meet it? With the kindness, with compassion, with the courage, and also with letting go and all that kind of thing. So then when you look at it, the Buddha continued to say, let not, he's talking about teach the Dhamma excellent in middle and beginning, middle, and the end. So then when I face challenges, those become my teacher. I learn from them. And then when I come to teach, I draw some strength from those challenges, and then I teach the Dhamma. So even people don't want to listen to the Dhamma, I teach them the Dhamma, and that helps me to overcome those challenges. So in short, I try to purify my mind whenever I'm challenged. If somebody say abuse me as a monk, say, oh, you look at this man, he's gone to mental hospital or coming to mental hospital. I know that this person is confused. I'm not going to get angry towards this person. Somebody told me I'm going to go to hell and my robes are going to burn in hell. You know, so this kind of thing, I respond with kindness, sometimes with a sense of humor. That's how I cope with it. Humor also is very important for me to deal with people, because one time I met people here, they told me I'm going to go to hell because I'm not married. I said, what about monks in Thailand, in Sri Lanka, in Burma? She said, yes, you're going to get burnt in your robes. You're not going to go to heaven. I said, okay, you better go to heaven. I go to hell, because if we all go to heaven, the heaven is going to be overcrowded and you're not going to enjoy heaven. So this kind of sense of humor, it helps me to actually deal with issues in my life, and also the Dhamma, what the Buddha taught us. When you go out to preach the Dhamma, we purify our mind, and then we can handle things very well. So I think patience also helped me a lot to cope up with the problem. Patience, Kanti, Paramata. You know that, Kanti, Paramata, Sukha. Now, the thing is, when you're a Dhammadutta, you have to be patient with people. Yes, you have to be very, very patient with them. So with patience, it will help you to cope up with this kind of life. Now, the last question is, do I welcome monks from Thailand? The answer, yes. Yes, if they tell me in advance so that I can know when they're coming, and also if they're willing to for a longer time. Because when a monk come and stay only 1 month, then they don't cause an impact in our school. Yes, so I allow monks, if they are committed to stay for a long time, so that their impact is felt in the community. We had a monk who stayed for 3 years. That was very good. But if just 1 month and then then you start teaching and then you go, then the program doesn't run very well. Yeah, I viewed actually a Sang building, a very big building, because I created this school. I wanted to invite monks to train the novice monks. Yes, I still invite very senior monks, yes, to come. Yes, but a monk has to be more than 5 years, definitely. And yeah, in that, I don't want monk who's only 1 or 2 years, because then they need also training. I want monks who have finished the 5 years, so that they can really take care of themselves. But if the monk come, I had a monk one time from Thailand. He was only 1 wasa and I didn't know. So then I cannot move anywhere, because he need to take dependency. But if he's more than 5 years and he speaks good English, because you have to speak good English in order to communicate to our monks, because this country, they speak English. This English is the official language. So the monk must be able to teach Dhamma, and definitely I will come. We are brothers, you know. So that answers your question. Thank you very much. Those 3 questions.
แปลถามอะไรแล้วก็ท่านตอบว่ายังไงเป็นภาษาไทยนะtranslate to Thai wait a minute
ฟังไม่ค่อยเคลียร์เนาะเพราะว่าเสียงทูมก็คือว่า
ถามว่าไงท่านถามว่าไงแล้วท่านตอบผม
ถามว่าปัญหาความท้าทายกับอุปสรรคอะไรครั้งแรกที่เขาได้เดินทางไปถึงอูกันดาแล้วเขาพบประสบเจอแล้วก็จัดการกับอุปสรรคปัญหานั้นได้ยังไงเขามีข้อ1ข้อ2มี1 2มาแต่ทีนี้แบบฟังไม่ค่อยใครพระอาจารย์ท่านไหนฟังถนัดบ้างครับฟังแบบได้ยินชัดคือฟังไม่จับใจความไม่ได้ชัดนะครับแล้วตอนหลังก็พูดถึงพระไทยที่ไปแล้วก็พระที่จะทำหน้าที่อย่างเงี้ยจะต้องแบบพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้พูดภาษาอังกฤษดีเพื่อที่จะสื่อสารไปได้ดีอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับแล้วก็ไปที่ได้เชิญพระท่านอยากเชิญพระมาเทรนคือพระที่อยู่ในประเทศท่านนะที่มาเข้ามาอยู่ในเซ็นเตอร์ของท่านนะก็มาเทรนมาฝึกอบรมในด้านต่างๆเพื่อที่จะได้ไปทำหน้าที่ประกาศพระศาสนาได้ประมาณนี้ครับจับใจความได้ถ้าเกิดว่ามาคุยตรงนี้น่าจะโอเคนะเพราะอันนี้เสียงไม่ค่อยอะไรบ้างอะไรโอเค thank you for your substantial answer and how about visa I ask you
visa is not the issue here. Visa is not a big problem. We have had monks coming here. Yes, so we handle it. We help to give an invitation, and we want monks not to take a visitor's visa, because visitor's visa after 3 months, then you have to leave the country and get it. So when the monk come here, we make sure that we start a kind of visa that will last. Sorry. We want them to take a visa so that they can renew it from here. In other words, they can stay more than a year. So the visa, we have that experience, and we are handling another visa application of a monk who lives in Langkawi, but is from Thailand. So visa is not a problem for people coming from Thailand. It's not a problem. Yeah. So yeah, and also I'm friendly with the Thai embassy in Kenya. There shouldn't be a problem because she came here recently to open our Buddhist primary school. So we've never had a problem with visa. We had a monk coming from Cambodia. Yeah, a monk came from Cambodia and came here for a short time. But we need a monk who stay here to teach our children, our novice monks, Dhamma, Pali, especially Pali language,
meditation, Buddhism. So we need actually, we need.
Okay.
And we need more once we even do the high school. Yeah, we need already. We are in scarcity of monks because my focus more is to train novice monks. So we need more people to help us to train these children until they become 20 years and we ordain them. Now we will have full ordained monks. Then it's going to be easier here when we have African people who are full ordained. But in this time, we have monks from foreign countries to come here and train children here and make sure that they chant well, standard chanting, Pali language, international pronunciation, so that they can be, yeah. So yes, definitely visa has not been a problem before. And I think we can handle it. We can handle it.
So the visa is not problem at all, as you said.
No, at the moment it is not. It has never been a problem. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your valuable answer. And I think after the training program for the overseas Dhammadutta Bhikkhus, there will be many the overseas going missionary monks will go to your country and serve the Buddhism in your country very well. Maybe I will go there. I don't know exactly. I don't know yet. But thank you for everything. Thank you so much. May the Teacher James protect and bless you abundantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. So I will translate Thai from the chat box. Have two questions. I don't you answer already. Maybe first one from the Venerable Kittipong. What is the first inspiration to study and practice the Dhamma in Buddhism like this? You answer already. And the second one, when the Baganda people would like to be ordained, how do you invite the preceptor and the host who support the events?
Yeah, I invite them once I get Ugandan people want to ordain, already they are trained here. And then I just send invitation to a monk who can come, and if they accept, and then they buy their tickets and they come here. They buy the air ticket and they come here, and then they ordain. After ordination, they stay here for a few days and they go back to their country. When they go back to their country, they are assigned to be me as the Nisaya. That means I can now undertake the training. I can undertake to train that monk. Yeah, that's the case for the monk we have now. One monk from Burma came, did the ordination, and now I take care of the training. They don't stay here. Once they go back.
Thank you very much. Okay, anyone have a question to the Venerable?
I have asked teacher the event weekday. Why the event Visa Day important for people in the world?
What's the question?
Please repeat.
They ask about event weekday important for people in the world.
So clear yet. Are you saying why is Vesak Day important in the world? Yes. Is that the question? Is that a question?
Vesak celebrate.
Yeah. So the question is, why is Vesak Day celebration important in the world?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Vesak Day is very, very important because
we are celebrating 3 events in one. The Buddha, the birth of the Buddha is very, very important to remember that such a person was born in this world. And of course, you know the story when the Buddha was born. And then when he got enlightened, he taught the Noble Eightfold Path. And when he taught the Noble Eightfold Path, other people get enlightened, first level of enlightenment. And the whole path that he taught, the Noble Eightfold Path, is the path that leads to peace and happiness. So we celebrate the day when he got enlightened, because once he got enlightened, he taught us we are here and you are here. And other people, they may not even be Buddhist, they are here because they are able to put this kind of teaching in practice. Yes, so not all of them, if you're not a Buddhist, maybe you won't know some parts of the Noble Eightfold Path. But if you learn them, that's even better. And now you can apply them in your life. So that's why United Nations give a day, special day. It's called United Nations Vesak Day Celebration, because it recognizes that Buddhism is a religion of peace. Now, he passed away. When he passed away, he said that all conditioned things are permanent, strive on with diligence. So in other words, Buddha passed, though he went into Parinibbana, but his Dhamma is still there. Buddha said, when you see the Dhamma, you see the Buddha. When you see the Buddha, you see the Dhamma. So this day is very, very important to celebrate 3 events in one, in that all those events brings us gratitude towards the founder of Buddhism. And another thing is that it renews our commitment to follow the path to enlightenment, to follow the path to happiness, to follow the path to peace. So that's why it's very, very important throughout the world. And normally when we have Vesak Day celebration, we try to find out themes, like the theme for this year, the topic for this year at the United Nations Vesak Day, organized by Mahachula, is that compassion in terms of crises, Buddhist practices on healing the community. So basically, these themes you can see, they're around how about suffering in a society, the cause of the suffering, the way to peace, peace and the way to peace. So we celebrate them to renew our commitment to such practices, and so that we can re-energize ourselves to continue, learn, practice, and realize Buddha's teaching. That's why, apart from being grateful to the Buddha who founded the religion, but the thing is, we need to renew our commitment and celebrate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kap.
Okay, pen like up.
Okay. We have one question, Penelope. Do you go for receiving food as alms giving around the village?
In the beginning, I did in different places, but this time I'm not going. And but our novice monks and one monk, I encourage them to start going. We are creating conditions so that when they go, at least they get food. Yes, because on Christmas they go. On Christmas they go. The monks go for alms round nearby, and they get food. This is something that I'm creating conditions so that it's become a daily practice, or at least a week we go for alms round. How I'm creating condition is that we are buying houses around the temple, and those houses should be occupied by Buddhist people. So when the Buddhist people occupy those houses around the temple, so monks then will start going for alms round. And once they go for alms round, people will get to know, oh, monks go for alms round, and they get food, and this is how they get food, and what food they give us. So once that happens, then it's going to be a culture. But now I stopped it for a while to create conditions for alms round.
Yes.
How is the first time is difficult for the arm rounds?
Yeah, that the first time it was very difficult. First, as I told you, they don't know what I was doing. The arms bow, they thought it was a drum, African drum. And then they thought it's a basket. In Kenya, they thought it was a bomb, grenade. They were afraid to come even anywhere near, you know. Then another time when I go for arms round, people, they say, how much are you selling your basket? So they don't know that I'm collecting food, you know. Then other people say, where you come from? I say, I live in USA. Oh, can you give me money? You're from the United States. So they are confused. And then when I was going arms round when I don't have my shoes, barefooted. And one time the man said, oh, sorry, you lost your relative, because in Uganda, when you lose your relative, you shave your hair. So they thought I've lost my parents or relatives. So the first time it was very hard, but now it's not going to be very hard once we resume, because along the road that goes to Uganda Buddhist Center, I bought a few houses. So now what will happen is that once these houses are occupied by our staff members, that means I'll tell them to prepare food for the monks to come. Once they do, the monks do it every day. They will see them going for arms round, and then the neighbors of that area, they will get to know, oh, monks come here. So we'll keep on extending our circle slowly by slowly. And in any case, once they get food from our neighbors, then other few people who don't give, they will learn from it. That's why now I have to really make sure that I buy as many houses around the temple so that I create a Buddhist village. Once I create a Buddhist village, and then I'll enforce going for arms round every day. But now we select a few days where we should go and where we shouldn't go.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Welcome.
Anyone have more questions for asking from the Venerable One?
ใครท่านใดมีคำถามบ้างครับเอาแล้วนะครับ No question, Venerable.
Yes.
In the name of the Dhamma Overseas Dhammaduta Bhikkhu class 20th, we are very thankful and appreciate to you for kindness and honor to giving Dhamma talk on topic Buddhist daily life and Buddhist practice in Eastern Africa. Let me summarize in Thai for Dhamma friend a little นะครับพระอาจารย์ท่านนั้นได้อธิบายนะครับในหัวข้อเกี่ยวกับการใช้ชีวิตในประจำวันของชาวพุทธในยูกันดานะครับซึ่งพระอาจารย์ดร.นะพุทธรักขิตะเนี่ยท่านก็ได้ใช้นะครับหลักการหลักใหญ่ๆนะครับที่ท่านใช้ในการเผยแผ่พุทธศาสนานำธรรมทูตนะครับพุทธธรรมทูตเนี่ยไปเผยแผ่เนี่ยคือท่านใช้ในเรื่องของการศึกษาครับเช่นการศึกษาให้เด็กการศึกษาให้กับเยาวชนแล้วก็ผู้หญิงนะครับแล้วก็เกี่ยวในเรื่องของสุขภาพครับท่านสร้างคลินิกประจำตำบลประจำอำเภอประจำจังหวัดอยู่ในที่นั้นนะครับเพื่อช่วยให้คนนั้นมีสุขภาพร่างกายที่แข็งแรงนะครับแล้วก็ท่านได้ช่วยเรื่องของน้ำนะครับอาจารย์ครับให้น้ำสะอาดให้น้ำเซฟตี้สามารถที่จะทานได้ง่ายเพราะว่าที่นั้นอาจจะแห้งแล้งแล้วก็ทีนี้มีการขุดหลุมน้ำอย่างที่เราเห็นนะครับอันนี้อย่างที่3อย่างที่4ก็คือท่านได้ช่วยเหลือเรื่องของความนะครับอดอยากนะครับhunger relief นะครับเป็นโปรแกรมเนี่ยคนที่โน่นมีความลำบากเรื่องอาหารการกินเรื่องนี้ท่านก็ได้ช่วยนะครับแล้วเรื่องสุดท้ายก็คือเรื่องของการส่งเสริมเศรษฐกิจพอเพียงก็ว่าได้นะครับเช่นให้มีการเย็บผ้าให้มีการฝึกทำให้ผู้หญิงโดยเฉพาะผู้หญิงกับเด็กนะครับท่านได้ช่วยในเรื่องนี้เป็นอย่างมากนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นถือว่าวันนี้เนี่ยเราท่านทั้งหลายเนี่ยได้รับฟังธรรมะอันมีคุณค่ายิ่งนะครับที่จะเป็นแบบอย่างนะครับเป็น main key of Dhammaduta นะครับสำหรับที่จะไปเผยแผ่พุทธศาสนาต่อไปนะครับyou encourage us นะครับ with many beneficial นะครับ topic to encourage us to go overseas at a Tamatudha Bhikkhu นะครับ we will bring your Dhamma talk in order to adapt as a Tamatudha Bhikkhu works toward to the more effective in the future. Thank you very much, Venerable.
You're welcome.
Buddharakkhita Peter. How are you?
Venerable sir.
Yes. What about your temple now? It okay?
It's okay, Venerable sir. Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Yes.
สบาย
Yeah. ท่านเติมนิดหนึ่งนะครับท่านพระธรรมทูตแล้วก็เนื่องจากว่าท่านพุทธรักขิตะที่ผมได้เกริ่นนำไปบ้างแล้วนะวันนี้ถือว่าเป็นโอกาสดีที่ท่านได้มาพบปะพวกเรา I look at your picture in ceremony, a conversation ceremony in the Siba. Not kind of fly for now. We limited of time for me because today long meeting already with our activity because of today we have the meeting with the Ombudsman Thailand. I guide them to make the support to the Sangha of Thailand. So then today your presentation very important. Then we have the information from you already, and then many times Thai people they promote about your activity and so include your Buddhist college, international college. That in my eye, in my feeling, that it's very fast to develop your activity. Very fast. Because just from the year 2006 until now, very fast. Thank you very much for that. But if you need the Thai Tamatudha for work with you, you can tell them all for now นะท่านธรรมทูตนะครับท่านได้อยากไปปฏิบัติหน้าที่กับท่านนะก็ซึ่งเพราะว่าท้าทายดีนะทั้งงานทุกประการที่ท่านบอกเมื่อกี้ขุดบ่อน้ำใช่ไหมไปขุดบ่อน้ำทำบ่อปลาปลาทำอะไรซึ่งประเทศก็อุดมสมบูรณ์นะครับแต่ว่าถือว่าการพัฒนาทางเศรษฐกิจที่ท่านเรียกว่า economic empowerment มีประเด็นที่ท่านเข้าไปช่วยเยอะมากเพราะก็มันเป็นเพราะว่าท่านเป็นผู้ที่เสียสละ I mentioned about your activity very important to develop your community. I mean the Uganda people and then the Uganda government support your activity many times. That all this one ท่านมีภาพปริญญานะ มีภาพเดียวเลยจะมีภาพตอนรับปริญญาอยู่this one in the Siba
มีภาพ
Yes.
Yeah. Your book. You keep this book for me.
Yes.
ท่านพระธรรมทูตครับเราให้กำลังใจท่านด้วยวิธีนิมนต์ท่านมานะนิมนต์ท่านมาวิสาขบูชาเมื่อกี้ที่ท่านผู้ดำเนินการท่านถามเรื่องว่าวิสาขะทำไงวิสาขะถึงมีความสำคัญนะท่านก็ต้องไม่ลืมว่าเนื่องจากวิสาขะมันเป็นมติของสหประชาชาติเราเอาเรื่องนี้เรื่องเดียวนะชาวพุทธในประเทศอื่นเนี่ยเขาต้องการอยากทำเรื่องนี้ทั้งนั้นนะครับแต่ว่าเวลาทำที่เป็น permanent ที่เป็นถาวรเนี่ยเขาก็ต้องไปดูเรื่องทะเบียนใน UN ทีนี้บังเอิญประเทศไทยเราไปจดทะเบียนเรื่องนี้ไว้นะครับก็เลยทำให้ท่านพุทธรักขิตะเนี่ยท่านได้มาร่วมงานกับพวกเราอยู่ประจำแล้วท่านมาท่านก็ไม่มาเปล่าๆนะครับเวลาท่านเดินทางท่านก็เดินอ้อมหรือว่าอ้อมโลกเมื่อกี้ท่านพูดถึงท่านอยู่อเมริกาเป็นหลักอันนี้ประธานดีตอนเป็นงานปริญญาถ้ามีเสียงการปัจจุบันท่านจะปรึกษาเนี่ยgive to Dr. พุทธรักขิตะนะครับแล้วก็ นะครับท่านพระธรรมทูตเวลาศรีลังการับปริญญาซึ่งเป็นสามัญสมทบของมัจจุราชนะครับท่านก็จะรับจากพวกเราให้พวกเราไปประกอบพิธีก็มีท่านมาในกะนะครับคือพระสังฆราชศรีลังกาอยู่ด้วยพวกนี้ที่จบทั้งจบปริญญาทั้งจบปริญญาเขาจะได้ปริญญา2 ใบนะปริญญาของมัจจุราชกับปริญญาของสถาบันนี้อยู่ด้วยนะครับอันนี้เป็นชาวไทยใหญ่ไทยใหญ่กับพระ12 พันนาเขาไปเรียนที่ศรีลังกานะพอมันได้ภาษาอังกฤษท่านศิลปนาเขาไปเรียนแบบนี้แหละแต่มาเรียนที่อื่นอันนี้ก็จะมีพัดอันนี้แบบศรีลังกาพัดเขาทำโลโก้มัจจุราชเลยนะครับอันนี้น่าสนใจสนับสนุนนะครับซึ่งตอนนี้ที่เนี่ยเขาต้องการเปิดเป็นปริญญาเอกด้วยนะครับไอตัวสิ่งที่เขารับอยู่ตอนนี้อันนี้คือเป็นของศรีลังกาข้างล่างเป็นเขียวๆที่เป็นปริญญาส่วนปริญญาของมัจจุราชนี่รับต่างหากรับจากฝ่ายมัจจุราชวันนั้นท่านรับ2 อัน congratulation back to that ceremony and so this year whatever you can if you can come to Thailand on December 12 because of last year MCU Council already support you by offer honor doctorate degree to you and so already waiting for you to you come to Thailand to get it because of its convocation ceremony for this year we set up on 11 and 12 of December 2022 if you can welcome if not you can invite us with the Dhammatutta class for class 28 to visit your institute. All of them we're going there. You can support by air ticket or meal and transportation accommodation. You can sponsor and then set up ceremony there and so can be just that. But I think it's better if you come to Thailand again. Then you can talk to Thai people and get some support from Thai community to sponsor you again. That right. ท่าน I guide free to class. ท่านพระธรรมทูตนะครับท่านพุทธรักขิตะท่านเนี้ยเป็นผู้ที่มีความพยายามมากท่านเป็นผู้ที่เรียนกรรมฐานปฏิบัติกรรมฐานเมื่อท่านเพิ่งปฏิบัติเมื่อปี 2007 เท่านั้นเองนะครับเริ่มจาก 2007 ที่เริ่มปฏิบัติจริงๆนะจากนั้นก็มาต่อเรื่อยๆที่ท่านที่จริงท่านเวลาบวชก็บวชอยู่ที่อินเดียนั่นแหละท่านบวชอยู่ที่อินเดียนะครับเวลาบวชมีท่านอาจารย์ใหญ่อยู่ที่นั่นแล้วท่านไปอยู่อเมริกาเสร็จแล้วเวลากลับไปที่บ้านวันที่ผมเล่าก็มีความยากลำบากนะครับแต่ทีนี้เมื่อกี้ท่านทางห้องของพวกเราถามเรื่องการบวชที่ท่านศิวนาถามด้วยนะเรื่องพิธีบวชการบวชอันนี้เป็นเหมือนพระธรรมทูตเราไปบวชที่ต่างประเทศเหมือนกันนะท่านก็ใช้พม่าเป็นกลุ่มหลักนะเพราะอะไรเพราะตอนที่ท่านบวชครั้งแรกมันเป็น tradition แบบพม่านะครับแล้วท่านก็ทางคณะสงฆ์พม่าหรือพระสงฆ์พม่าเนี่ยท่านก็อนุเคราะห์อย่างดีนะครับและที่สำคัญคือท่านเนี่ยคุ้นเคยกับท่านธรรมายธรรมสามีก็เลยทำให้ช่องทางมันง่ายนะแต่ช่องทางเราเนี่ยเป็นช่องทางวิสาขบูชานะครับท่านก็มาร่วมงานวิสาขบูชาแล้วคอมมูนิตี้ท่านก็ใหญ่ขึ้นทีนี้ถ้าทำงานลักษณะที่ท่านทำเนี่ยคือทำด้วยความเสียสละจริงๆต้องไประดมทุนมาด้วยแล้วก็มาสร้างอะไรที่บ้านท่านซึ่งไม่ใช่งบจากที่นั่นแต่เป็นงบมาจากข้างนอกแต่พอเห็นท่านทำทุกการที่ท่านฉายพวกเราดูเมื่อกี้ถ้ากลับกันนะถ้าท่านมาทำทูตเราไปทำแบบนี้กับท่านรวมถึงประเทศอื่นด้วยที่เป็นประเทศที่กำลังพัฒนานะครับเราก็สามารถที่จะเอาสูตรของพวกเราจะเป็นโคกน้องนาก็ตามจะเป็นอะไรที่เป็นโมเดลที่พวกเราทำใหม่ๆนี่นะเพราะว่าถ้าเราไปช่วยทำในสังคมมันก็จะทำให้เห็นความต้องการของพุทธศาสนาซึ่งท่านไปทำเนี่ยจากที่พวกเราถามท่านก็เป็นครอบครัวคริสต์เป็นชาวคริสต์อยู่แล้วนะครับซึ่งตอนนี้ก็มีเยอะนะครับแต่ที่ถ้าเราทำด้วยความเสียสละเนี่ยคนไทยเราก็ยังปกป้องได้อยู่ นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นวันนี้ปิดท้ายของช่วงที่อยู่ที่แคมป์สนนะครับเราได้ฟังพระเถระท่านหนึ่งที่ทำงานที่บ้านเกิดของตนที่ภูมิลำเนาของตนด้วยความขยันหมั่นเพียรเสียสละเป็นตัวอย่างของความเป็นพระด้วยท่านเป็นพระที่เคร่งวินัยนะเคร่งน่าดูแบบตอนนี้นะเป็นพระธรรมวินัยแล้วก็ชัดครับคือผู้ที่ปฏิบัติตามพระธรรมวินัยนั้นชัดมากแล้วก็ปฏิบัติแบบตนเป็นตัวมากแต่ว่าท่านได้เปรียบพวกเราตอนที่ภาษาท่านก็ปฏิบัติอยู่ที่อเมริกาท่านก็ไปหลายที่ทั้งท่านโพธิทั้งท่านกรุณาทาศักดิ์ก็ไปเหล่านี้เพราะว่าท่านไปเรียนเติมเรื่องการศึกษาที่ศรีลังกาท่านไม่เรียนที่อินเดียที่ยิงตอนแรกเรียนที่อินเดียแต่เห็นว่ามันพุทธศาสนามันน้อยแล้วก็ถือโอกาสไปศรีลังกาท่านก็ไม่ได้ลำบากเท่าไหร่นะครับก็ถือว่าท่านทนได้สู้ได้ and our Dhammatutta class for this year we have here 120 in class and 20 out of class and then they have the training for other activity also and sometimes they join we are training for 3 months like a 90-day full 90 days they have to live with us by 24 hours a day period for them also for meditation in our curriculum or program for 30 days and 30 days they cannot accept have to be practice all not day off and then for now academic the pro section for them example is your experience we mentioned about the foreigner Buddhist activity for them for Dhammatutta and then when they go to other country they also can work with you like เจ้าคุณถนัดใช่ไหมเจ้าคุณถนัด so you are very close with you also you are also member of IBAA like that then they also will young generation to Thai Dhammatutta for OC for around the world and I hope you can join with them in the near future to be developed our activity they serve to the social more and more to make the peace by our activity. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much. Anumodana Sadhu. Thank you very much.
See you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
ครับนิมนต์ห้องครับจัดฟิลมินิทนะนิมนต์ที่ห้องเลยนะครับ
สาธุสาธุสาธุกราบพระวิทยากรบอกด้วยอาจารย์ท่านบอก
You have any bahasa Buddharakkhita
20
ท่านพรรษา20ท่านพรรษาที่เกิน20ก็ไม่ต้องกราบนะครับ
กราบนิมนต์ท่านนำกราบลาพระ And finally, we would like Venerable to lead to pray to the Tibetan. Venerable.
Okay, please for say goodbye.
Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavanta Avivadevi Sawakado Bhagavata Namo Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho
Thank you very much.